At one point, it looked like it was going to be a clean sweep for England, but Ajinkya Rahane saved the day for India with a stunning century.
Well, James Anderson, though, managed to pick up 4 wickets for his side. Our team on the ground, Shivani Gupta and Boria Majumdar, dissected the match with Sourav Ganguly.
At the start of the first day's play of the second test match between England and India at Lord's, one would have thought that with such a green top, it's England that will have the upper hand by the end of the day's play. But it wasn't to be. England left scratching their heads as to whether their ploy really worked. I have former India captain Sourav Ganguly and our consulting editor Boria Majumdar with me to discuss the day's play. Sourav, we have to start with the pitch itself. Did England overcompensate? And have you ever seen such a green top in Test cricket?
No, I haven't seen for a long time. I can't remember whether South Africa 2006 was this green when we got South Africa out for 86. 2007 when we won in Nottingham, whether it was this green we got England out for 190. But this had enormous amount of help for the quicks, and England will be disappointed at the end of the day's play. And for me, they will be fighting to save this test match. And if you ask me now, it's 70-30 India, because our bowlers will bowl a lot better on this surface than England did. If you look at India's wins, overseas wins, you go to Perth, you go to Durban, you go to Headingley, you go to Nottingham, pitches which have actually assisted our seamers. So when you look at this pitch, and I hope with all the sun, and if I was an England batsman, if I was Alistair Cook, I would hope that with the baking sun, tomorrow is a very hot day, it's about 32-33 degrees, it takes away whatever help it has on the pitch. But if our bowlers bowl in the right area, England will find it difficult to get 250.
We'll talk about the English bowling performance a little bit more, but Boria, the England psyche, what's going on with the pitches? We have a flat one at Trent Bridge. This is the kind of pitch we expected to see there, and such a green top, but it seems England have lost the advantage of such a top.
Sourav made this point at Trent Bridge that they'll get desperate, and they got desperate. But the fact is, at the end of the day, it's the other way around, as you said. You know, the fact of the matter is Alistair Cook is under pressure, and it's seeming in his captaincy. He just mentioned when we got a track like this, I think New Zealand 2002, before that World Cup, December, we got tracks where, you know, both teams got rolled out for 90. But as he said, it's advantage India at the end of day one, an advantage by quite a distance.
At the end of the first session, Dada, 70 odd just for 2 wickets. It all started there, isn't it, for India? Overall, batting performance for India, how happy are you? We'll talk about Ajinkya Rahane in a bit, but just an overall perspective.
I think Ajinkya Rahane saved the day for India, to be honest. He batted exceptionally well with Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. That partnership actually took India much ahead in this game. It was a fabulous test innings, you know, and this is one test innings which he will cherish for a long time. Firstly, it is at Lord's, his first appearance at Lord's, and he'll be one of the few who's got
he's only followed you as an Indian who's achieved that feat.
I believe he's the 9th Indian to do that. Probably not for the first time, maybe a few, but
it's only you and him now in the first test match.
Yeah, it's a remarkable achievement, and more so in these conditions. You know, it was a tailor-made pitch for the bowlers. India were 140 for 7, and if you look at the way he scored his runs, there were nothing behind the wicket. There was everything in front, which actually speaks volumes of his technique in these conditions. He's got 100 in New Zealand in Auckland. He almost got 100 in Durban in 98, and he's got 100 here, which speaks volumes of his ability. I've always said getting runs outside India is always a hallmark of a good quality batsman, and hopefully with him batting at number 5 in Test cricket now consistently over a period of time, he will be also converting those hundreds more so in India, because at times batting at number 6 in India on those square turning pitches is never easy. So I think he will be a very special player for India. Yes, we've got Pujara, we talk about Virat Kohli, but this man will not be far away from all these players, especially in Test cricket.
He's worked really hard, but your first ton at Lord's in a way changed a lot of things. Mentally, what will this do for Ajinkya Rahane, you know, to get his name on the honours board here?
See, every runs in Test cricket makes you a better player. Look at Bhuvaneshwar Kumar. He got 250s in Trent Bridge, and the way he batted on a difficult pitch in England at Lord's today. So it's only going to make Ajinkya Rahane a better player, because your technique doesn't change much, your abilities don't change much, but it's a belief that I can get runs consistently at the international level. He's a back foot player. He can play the cut shot, he can play the pull shot, which is so important in these conditions, and for me he's going to become a fabulous player for India.
Boria, his defence was rock solid when India needed it, and he also punished the bad balls. Just a perfect innings from a batsman, especially coming in at number 6 and India being in the position that they were.
Of course, I have written about this for a long time, that Ajinkya Rahane is a special test match player. I mean, I have been backing this fellow. In fact, people laughed when I wrote about it 2 years back, because I know him very well, and sort of he's cried in front of me a number of occasions when he got dropped from the test match team. Rohit Sharma came and grabbed the opportunity. But this guy is absolutely incredible. When he made that 100 in 1996, I absolutely remember. That series, for example, it changed him.
Yeah.
I mean, before that 1992 tour was forgettable for him. After 1996, 166, he was a different player, went on to become a legend. So with Ajinkya Rahane, this is a special innings, mind you me. And if India wins this test match, Ajinkya Rahane will forever remember this match, because this history will be created. One win so far in your history at Lords, maybe a second.
It could well be a test match.
I don't see India losing this test match from here, because I don't see England getting another 10 wickets in the second innings, unless and until Liam Plunkett bowls well, Ben Stokes bowls well, just to depend on Broad and Anderson. They've had about 50 overs in Trent Bridge, another 20 overs here for them to turn up and again pick wickets in the second innings will be very, very hard. So England are in a very tough position in this test.
Can I, with your permission, ask him a question?
500.
You are also known as one of India's best captains. Can you tell us about Alistair Cook? What is going on?
I had a few questions about him, but Dada, go ahead first up.
Yeah, that's the right way actually to ask what is going on. When I saw against India, when he came as captain and England won the series 2-1, he was a fantastic captain. I just get a feeling he's starting to worry too much about criticism. He's been criticised in the Ashes, in the series against Sri Lanka by Australian cricketers, warned some past players. He's got to put that behind. He's got to speak to himself, and only he can come out of it. Some of the field placements he's had, even look at when Mohammad Sami was batting, he had everybody on the fence. On a pitch, almost a second new ball, the wicket doing everything. Number 10, number 11 batting, and you've got a deep point, a deep square leg, a long on, a long off. And if Mohammad Sami puts his foot down and bangs it over mid-on and mid-off, then there's something definitely wrong with English bowling. In the morning, he won the toss. They've been talking about a green pitch, help for the quicks. They got everything, and he didn't attack enough. There was a deep square leg at one stage. He had just 3 slips and a gully. How many deliveries kept flying through the third slip and the gully region? He never enforced it. He started following the ball. I think he's got to get back from all this, sit with himself for a period of time, and tell him that I have been given a job to do for England. I'll do what I know best. I cannot listen to what the media says. I cannot listen to what the critics say. I cannot listen to what past greats say, former captains say, because everyone's different. So Alistair Cook has to get out of this, and only he can take himself out of it. Nobody else. I think the English commentators are pretty fair on him. They don't criticize him so much, but he's just got to find a way to get out of it.
I slightly disagree, because at tea time I was listening to the commentary. They're actually joking at his expense. I mean, David Gower, Michael Holding were like, oh, so will Alistair Cook bat today? How many balls will he last? I mean, he's actually...
His batting form has been the butt of the jokes for a little bit.
Before you sort of... Tell us about Bhuvneshwar Kumar. I mean, Shivani, for me, the star of this Indian series so far has been Bhuvneshwar Kumar.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, he's a fighter. And with all his ability, he's a 110% man. Look at the way his batting is improved, and he can actually start batting at number 7 for India. He's so gifted with the bat, and today's innings was even better than the way he played in Trent Bridge on difficult conditions. He just looked flawless, and he's just going to get better and better, and wait till he bowls on the surface.
Well, you talked about the number 7 position, which is right now with Ravindra Jadeja. He was the talk of the town. He was the talk before the test match started. I want to combine this with Alistair Cook. Ravindra Jadeja first up being booed as he entered. This was perhaps expected.
We predicted it.
Yeah, but that's part and parcel of sport. You don't need to worry about it and put it aside. This is bound to happen. If Jimmy Anderson would have done that in India, he would have got booed as well. At least he's getting popular, Ravindra Jadeja, but he needs to pick his performance up. Dhoni supports him, Dhoni backs him, but if he's got to be a consistent test player, he's got to do a lot better.
And on that note, at that time when Ravindra Jadeja came into bat, we were almost sure that Alistair Cook will give the ball to Jimmy Anderson. Dada, why didn't that happen? As a captain, would you have done it?
Yeah, because he's worried about Jimmy Anderson, that he just cannot be bowling all the time. He bowled 9 overs the first session in the morning, and 9 overs at a go, he's going to break down. He knows that there's not enough pressure from Liam Plunkett and Ben Stokes after Broad and Anderson finishes, so he's under enormous pressure to keep him bowling. You look from the 60th over till the 80th over, till the new ball was taken. Jimmy Anderson didn't bowl at all. They kept bowling with Plunkett. He just kept banging in short. He's got to find out a way, because if Plunkett's going to be that sort of a bowler, he cannot be England's third seamer. They're talking about Stephen Finn getting fit, being back on track. That's the only option. Otherwise, Anderson and Broad will not last after this test match.
So let me ask you this pointed question. With this bowling attack as of now, with the burden on Anderson and Broad as it stands right now, can England win this series and take 20 wickets in each match? This is the question Indian bowling is asked.
Very tough. Very, very tough. Along with the way Alistair Cook's gone about his job, England will find it very hard to win this series. And to be honest, the way the things are going around, the way the word's going around, Alistair Cook has got to get his captaincy back on track, because he's got this series 5 test matches. If England don't do well, he might lose the job, because to be honest, he hasn't looked in control at all.
Yes, this is already one of the longest streaks without a win for England, going back till 1992-1993. Go ahead.
You know, I just want to say this, that looking at the body language of the English, I think they are sort of under incredible pressure. If this test match goes without a win, England might even sort of collapse, because England, with the British media suddenly turning against, and they can be very hostile to their own players as well, if they want to. Alistair Cook will find it extremely difficult. Middle of the series, and you've seen how England has unraveled. Graham Swan, Kevin Peterson, one after the other. This is the worst England side in a long, long time. He's made this point umpteenth number of times. India's best chance to win a series.
Yes, so Dada, 70-30 you said. What does India need to do right so that they can win this test match and go ahead?
They'll have to make sure that England doesn't put a big score in the first innings. I don't think England can put a big score on this pitch in the first innings, unless and until our bowlers just keep bowling short, which I don't see that happening. If they restrict England to 300 and bat again.
The second day, it could be cloudy, so that perhaps will help and be of India's aid. I have to ask you a question about Jimmy Anderson, though. Today he achieved a couple of milestones, one becoming England's most successful wicket taker against India, and overall in England as well. A word about Jimmy Anderson, who's done remarkably well for England through the years.
Phenomenal. You know, every time I see him, he just gets better and better. He's close to 100 test matches. And for a fast bowler, it's a remarkable achievement. He's got past Botham, he's got past Willis, Truman. It's such big names in world cricket. And to achieve the target, it's a phenomenal thing. And I have seen him right from day one till now. He came in 2003. 2002 actually, in that one-day series, and then he started playing test cricket. Then 2007 he was England's frontline bowler, and then 2011 and now he's just gone better and better, and you can see it's pretty apparent. Every time he's got the ball in hand, it just gets a feeling that England is 1 wicket away.
Let's also talk about Virat Kohli. He's been a little conspicuous with his absence of sort as far as the batting lineup is concerned. Today he was looking in good touch, Dada, wasn't he? He would be kicking himself for not quite carrying on, but it happens. But should we be worried at all about Virat?
No, I don't think we should be worried about it. He got a brilliant delivery today, though. On that pitch, anything could have happened. He's a class act. Runs will come.
And his average in the last 2 tours was brilliant.
Yeah, Pujara will get runs. He looked good today till he got a brilliant delivery from Stokes. So it's that sort of a pitch. It was still probably tea time where you were never set. These sort of pitches, no batsman is set. You know, every now and then you get some absolute beauties. England kept banging in short after tea. I don't know why. Either they were thinking that, you know, this pitch has lost all his movement when it's pitched up, or I don't know what were they thinking after tea when Plunkett just came around the wicket and kept banging in short at Ajinkya Rahane. They just allowed the game to slip away from their hands. It wasn't an easy surface, and with Virat Kohli, I'm not too worried. You know, he's a class act, and at just 24, 25 years of age, 24 international hundreds. You know, the world is at his feet.
Yes, he can still emulate Sourav Ganguly. One more innings to go, isn't it, in his first test match?
He'll get a few opportunities. May not be the first test match, but he'll get a few opportunities to get his name on the board because he's young and he'll play for India for a long time.
All right, Boria, final question. It seems India has rattled England. The draw and the pitch actually rattled them even before anything else. Then this whole episode with Ravindra Jadeja and Jimmy Anderson. Now today's day's play. You mentioned how they got a little desperate. As far as the psyche of the English team is concerned, do you think they're lacking experience or just a wise word coming in from someone?
No, they are, this England side, when they are doing well, they do very well. And if you follow this England side from the Ashes, they have unravelled. I was speaking to a number of Australian players, they echo what Sourav says. This is your best chance. Kill them. You've got them on the mat, finish them off. this is your opportunity, because you see their body language. 300 on this track is 500 on an Indian track. This is India's best opportunity, and if the captain is underdone, half that side is underdone. No spinner. Moeen Ali, yes, okay, but no Graham Swan to come and check. Liam Plunkett was rubbish. If Stephen Finn comes back, perhaps yes. This England side is not even half as good as 2011.
And of course, we have that sword hanging over this series about Jimmy Anderson. The judicial proceedings will happen in between the second and the third test match. Still 4 days to go, but you never know what could happen and what kind of a blow it could be for either side. All right, final comments. Looking for an India win in this one.
Absolutely. As I said it at the start of the series. And more I look at this England team, and more I look at the way they've gone about their job, only one side can win.
So Sourav Ganguly's prediction is that India should win this test match.